Hello dear friends, I'm Marina with your weekly horoscope for the last 7 days of June, from the 24th to the 30th. So finally guys, I have some good news to share with you. Those next 7 days are about to be much easier than the previous 2 weeks. During the past week, we had a challenging combination between Pluto and Mars. Before that, we had Mars with Saturn. Honestly, that's a very tough combination. This week, we have none of those extremely challenging aspects. Yes, there are some things that we need to be careful of, especially in regards to Venus and its areas, which means relationships, emotions. There might be some issues about that, but overall, the energy is much more relaxed. We don't have so much confrontation or so much anger or impatience or fears. You know, all of that should be behind our backs. So let's go through each of those days and see how you can plan your week according to that so that you can get the most. Don't forget also, if you want to receive daily updates, you can follow my Facebook page. The link is below the video. Now, let's start with the 24th of June, Monday. We have a square between Venus and Neptune. Two emotional planets, two feminine planets. So overall, we can expect that we can be very sensitive, very emotional. We may feel more vulnerable. In terms of relationships or personal communication, there might be some misunderstandings. There might be some kind of illusions which we may realize that are actually not realistic. So from one side, it's time to let go of those illusions, of those, unrealistic expectations in terms of our relationships and love issues. But also, this can be a time when we need to make certain sacrifice for the people we love, for our families, for our loved ones. Making a sacrifice is very typical for Neptune. Now, what can be the positive side of this combination? The positive side is that you might be extremely inspired and creative. If you are an artist, if you're doing anything related to beauty, design, fashion, you may receive some extra energy, additional inspiration. The important part here is that you need to work for that. So it's not something, which comes smoothly and then you just let it go and it's done. When we have square aspects, they require work, they require effort, they require, something to be done from us in order to achieve success or any results at all. So if you are prepared for this work, this aspect can make you extra productive or extra inspired when it comes to beauty and all of those Venus areas. As we said, in terms of personal stuff, the aspect is not so supportive. We can be more vulnerable. Some lies and cheats are also possible. You may realize that someone is pretending for something they're not, or in some cases, literally, love triangles might be revealed, or another things which can be, secret behind your back in regards to love and relationships. So be extra careful with that. And the other thing which also makes us even more sensitive, more emotional, is related to the position of the moon. The moon, which will be in Pisces during the whole day. Pisces is the sign ruled by Neptune. So obviously Neptune becomes extremely powerful during this day, which means even more intuition, even more inspiration. But also the physical level of the energy is not so high. So you may not have the needed energy or strength or motivation to do something which requires hard work or more patience or to be well grounded. This is a positive combination for spiritual work, for relaxation, for meditations, for creativity. Anything else probably should be rescheduled for the next days. The 25th of June, Tuesday. Venus, this time with Uranus, minor challenging aspect. This aspect can bring something unexpected in terms of love and relationships. There might be some kind of surprises. People who are close to you, who are dear to you, may respond in a strange way, unexpected, unplanned for you. There might be also some kind of shock, some kind of surprise, you know, something which makes you very excited, but also which suggests, you know, certain level of instability. This aspect can really bring variety, excitement, positive surprises and emotions, but in the cases when you are ready to accept the new energy. If you would like to, you know, keep everything as it is, if you want things to be just calm and stable, this may feel quite stressful. But if you're open for surprises, for experiments, for something new, also if you're ready to provide freedom to the people that you love, to respect their boundaries, their own rights, you know, to do whatever they want to, then this aspect can be also very interesting. In terms of communication with women, this aspect can also bring surprises, something unexpected, something unplanned. The other thing we have on Tuesday is the moon, which is in Aries. A big shift. This transition from Pisces to Aries is incredibly significant. Much more dynamic here, much more desire and ability to take action, to do something independently, to be, you know, braver. This is a masculine energy. This energy is positive for doing things, for initiating something, being brave, and for all kinds of plans and actions and projects. This can be supportive. There is always a small chance, sometimes not so small. In those cases, I believe it's not so significant, but anyway, there is a chance for possible confrontations. It's not the same as having, for example, Mars in opposition with Pluto, the thing we had during the previous week. It's not the same, but the moon in Aries can really make us more impatient, you know, willing for things to happen right now. And sometimes this provokes some confrontations or misunderstandings between people. But overall, exciting and interesting day, positive for taking action. The 26th of June, Wednesday, the only ingression that we have during this week, Mercury, which enters Leo. Mercury in Leo is not in a strong position. Actually, Mercury is exalted in the opposite sign, Aquarius. So here, Mercury is quite weak. And why is that? Mercury is the planet of communication and connection. It requires exchange, which means, you know, we give something, but we are also able to accept, you know, exchange, movement of the energy, especially when it comes to communication and knowledge. On the other hand, what does the Leo sign represent? It's the ego. It's our, you know, individual power and strength. When Mercury is in Leo, we want more to be listened. We want to talk, we want to attract attention, you know, receive attention. So with Mercury in Leo, we are not so good with listening to other people, having dialogues, you know, exchanging knowledge and information. Here with Mercury in Leo, the energy is more in one direction. You know, we are talking to the other person. We may want to, you know, control the conversation, to speak our truth, but we are not always so sensitive in, you know, noticing how the other person responds, or what his needs might be, or what he would like to say. This can be a challenge sometimes. It's not a position which can bring, lots of confrontations or arguing. Of course, that's a fire sign, so there is certain dynamic. But the main question is, are you able to listen to the other person? If you want to succeed in your verbal communication, the right approach should be to let the other person speak and talk. So listen to them, what they want to say, what they want you to pay attention to, or what they want you to admire them for, or appreciate, or just acknowledge. And in those cases, actually, you may achieve much more. Mercury in Leo also allows you to be more confident when you want or you need to speak your own truth, to maybe attract attention, to be in the center of the attention. So for direct communication, Mercury in Leo is actually positive. Also, it allows us to be more logical when we take decisions. Remember that Mercury is the mental planet, the planet which also resonates with how we think, how we take decisions. And recently, Mercury was in Cancer, emotional sign, water sign. So most of our decisions were also affected by our emotions, by how we feel, things which are absolutely irrational. Now with Mercury in Leo, we may become more logical. The greatest quality of Mercury in the fire signs is that it can get the main idea of something. It's not focused on details, on analyzing the small things, observing and, losing too much time on that. Mercury in Leo, it's about the general idea. Give me the whole point or the main idea of your project, of your plan, or whatever you want to, explain to other people. So when you're communicating in business, in personal life, start with the general idea and then go to the details or to explain the logic or what's behind that. But first of all, start with the essence. What do you want the other person to get, to understand? Be direct. So don't, try to soften things or to expect that the other person will get something you didn't mention. So this type of, a little bit more diplomatic approach is probably not the best. Be direct, straight to the point, and tell exactly what you want the other person to get or to remember with 1, 2, 3 essences. Then go back to your explanation, to, everything else. That's the right approach which can bring you more success. And this is true not only for Wednesday. Actually, for the next couple of weeks, Mercury is in Leo, so that's the best strategy. Also, we have the transit moon in Aries on Wednesday, so fire energy, dynamic energy, time to take action, to be open, to be brave. So, of course, in regards to communication or business or personal life, take the initiative, don't be afraid, be open and take some action. Don't postpone things, don't wait for, another time or when you will be ready, or, we can always find excuses. With the moon in Aries, it's time for action. Start with small things and then build up after that. The 27th of June, Thursday, beautiful aspect between the Sun and Uranus. This is a sextile aspect, which is also a major one, so it means that the energy is quite strong and powerful. Absolutely fantastic combination for inspiration and doing something different. New approaches, new ideas, new projects, something which is exciting, something which can be inspiring, which potentially can have an impact on many people, some kind of community. Also for community projects, something that you are doing with a team, with your friends, with other people, this aspect can really support you. Also, when it comes to freedom, this aspect brings higher need to feel like, we can do something that we want to, that we are respected, our personal boundaries are respected. So for all kinds of new exciting experiments, projects, plans, this aspect can be great in regards to business, education, traveling. Try something new. Don't be afraid also to look at yourself and also to make certain changes. This aspect can really allow you to change something about yourself smoothly, so without too much resistance, without too much effort or sacrifices. It's harmonious, it's easier, it can be exciting, it can be interesting experience. So just go for it. The other aspect we have is a quincunx between Venus and Pluto. Again, Venus is, in the center of our attention. So relationships, love, emotions, these are important topics. At the same time, Pluto can bring more intensity, can make things more dynamic, deeper. In regards to relationships, you may notice that you are able to deepen your connection with your partner, that you need more depth, that you need more connection. Also, this is an aspect which can bring transformations. At first, there might be some challenges, so potentially the aspect can bring jealousy, power issues or struggles, or also possible manipulations sometimes, but eventually the quincunx can turn into a sextile, positive, harmonious aspect, which means healing old emotional traumas, also deepening relationships, more passion, more intense emotions. So quite interesting combination. Also, we have the transit moon in Taurus during this day. So overall, the energy can become more relaxed. We can be more grounded. We can be more in touch with reality, focused on some kind of practical issues, our health, our bodies, nutrition, also money, financial stuff. Those can be some important themes during the day. And what's interesting about this combination, so we have sextile between Sun and Uranus, so inspiration, ideas, insights, very mental energy, energy which connects us more to the skies. At the same time, the moon is in Taurus, so we need to remain also grounded and, with our feet touching the ground. But what's the positive here? The positive side is that this inspiration, those new ideas can also be materialized. You may manifest those ideas, desires, dreams, insights. So that's always something great, to have something which connects you to the skies and something else which connects you to the earth, to the material world. The 28th of June, Friday, probably the calmest day during the whole week. The transit moon is in Taurus. Let me remind you that this is also an exalted position for the moon. So it means that the moon feels very comfortable in this sign. So all of the areas of the moon, like home, taking care, paying attention to our diet, enjoying a nice, lovely meal, being grounded, also focused on material things, including finances, those themes are important. Also, the transit moon will have a positive aspect with Saturn, which is in Capricorn, also very strong sign position. This can be a very, very practical combination, beautiful combination for business, for work, for taking care of your responsibilities, taking care of some kind of business tasks, projects, financial projects as well. So even though it's Friday, many of us are preparing for the weekend, for the vacations. Who knows, you may still take care of important tasks and be more productive than you can actually expect for a regular Friday, at least for the most people. So definitely take advantage of this. Schedule some important business meetings, projects, anything which requires more patience, more consistency, or to manage, to control, to plan. Beautiful combination. The 29th of June, Venus again, this time with Jupiter, minor challenging aspect, square and a half. This is an aspect which can bring too much desires, you know. We may want too many things which may turn out to be not so realistic. So maybe you need to let go of some of your desires, to prioritize, because sometimes, you know, we may have desires which are contradicting or opposing each other. So be honest, be wise, and let go of those desires which are not your main priority. In terms of relationships, this aspect may also bring stronger desire to show, you know, how successful we are in our relationships, or maybe to have a more prestigious or successful partner. Or for some reason, we may need to change something about our goals, about our desires, about our expectations. But let me remind you that none of those planets is masculine, or well, with Jupiter it could be considered as masculine planet, but it's not an aggressive planet. It's not a planet which can bring, you know, confrontations or struggles or conflicts. So this aspect can work more on an emotional level. It doesn't mean that, you know, it's an aspect which brings dangerous situations or something that you need to be careful about it. The transit moon will be in Taurus until 4 p.m. Eastern time. So grounded energy, great time also to spend time in nature, to go for a walk, to connect with the earth if possible, walk barefoot, you know, feel like the energy flowing between your feet and the ground. It can be extremely healing and grounding and calming. Focus also on practical things, on taking care of your body, taking care of some practical issues. And around 4 p.m. Eastern time, the transit moon will enter Gemini. So time to communicate more, time for more variety, some kind of shift, you know, the energy starts moving faster. Taurus is a fixed earth energy, so this is literally the most stable energy which you can have. Sometimes it can even make you feel kind of stuck, like, you know, it's difficult to move forward, it's difficult to make a change. Gemini, on the other hand, is a mutable air sign, so it's all about movement, shifting. Yes, potentially there might be, well, certain level of being superficial or not going really deep in something, or interested in too many things, losing your focus between too many tasks, this multitasking, you know, days or projects or people. But after all, for communication, for spending time with friends, even for some kind of intellectual work, maybe you can have a new idea, something that you would like to share with other people as well. And the 30th of June, Sunday, the transit moon is still in Gemini. So we have a higher need for communication, for exchange of energy between us and other people. Beautiful time for learning something, for traveling, for, you know, maybe reading a nice book. The only major aspect of the moon during the day is opposition with Jupiter. Jupiter, which is the other planet related to knowledge and, you know, philosophy and inspiration. So this aspect may suggest that Your mind can be very active, you know, switching between different ideas, making lots of plans, changing something about your plans. But for learning, for traveling, for setting some new goals, this can be a productive day. This can be an interesting day, which may show you also what do you need to let go of. Another person may help you in this process, by the way. The oppositions can always include someone else. So overall, interesting, exciting combination. Also, there is no confrontation here, you know, no higher risks for accidents or something like that. No, the risk here is that you may lose a little bit your focus. You may realize that you want to do too many things at the same time, and at the end of the day, you haven't finished anything. But, you know, that's the risk of Jupiter. So these are the most important influences. As I said, mostly the week will be calm, especially June 28th, which is Friday, so this is a very positive day. The 26th can also be quite positive, with more dynamics, but positive for taking action. Then what is this? Thursday. Thursday also nice, interesting day. Monday is not the best day for serious work. You know, if possible, relax or do something creative or something that doesn't require too much effort. Here there might be some emotional instability, so a little bit more stress is possible. And yeah, overall that's the general picture. Also, let me tell you that most of the planets during the week are in the feminine signs, earth and water signs. There are some little changes, but in all of those days, of those 7 days, the feminine signs are dominating. They are more than the masculine signs. So it's really time for reflection. It's time to look inside of you. How do you feel? To focus on relationships, on your personal life. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do things or you should neglect your business tasks, but take it easy, you know, don't push yourself too much, and definitely pay more attention to your personal life and relationships. So that's the general overview. Don't forget, for daily insights and news, check out and follow my Facebook page. The link is below this video. Also, if you would like to participate in our masterclass about the Bach flower remedies, you are welcome to sign up. We are starting really soon. We are going to talk about some amazing things, how the Bach flowers can help you to solve or to handle with different challenging emotions, psychological issues, and so much more. We are also going to talk about concrete transit and which can be the possible remedies that you should consider. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon.